නමෝ තස් භගවතු අරහතු සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස් භගවතු අරහතු සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස් භගවතු අරහතු සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස බුද්ධෝ සුසුද්ධෝ කරුණා මහන්නවෝ යෝ චත්ත සුද්ධ පරඥාන ලෝචනෝ ලෝකස්ස පාපූපකිලේස ගාතකෝ වන්දාමි බුද්ධං අහං ආදරේන තං. The Buddha, well purified, with ocean-like compassion, possessor of the eye of knowledge, completely purified, destroyer of the evils and corruption of the world, I revere that Buddha with devotion. Namo te purisajanya, Namo te purisuttama, Sadeva kasmin lokasmin, Natti te patipuggalo. Homage to you, so nobly bred, homage to you amongst men supreme. Fearless are you in all the world, may all homage be given to you. Dear friends in Dhamma, today I am going to share the Buddha's daily routine. The Buddha can be considered the most energetic and the most active all religious teachers that ever lived on the earth. The whole day he was occupied with his religious activities, except when he was attending to his physical needs. He was methodically and systematic in the performance of his daily duties. His inner life was one of meditation and was concerned with the experiencing of Nibbanic bliss, while his outer life was one of selfless service for the moral upliftment of the world. Himself enlightened, he endeavored his best to enlighten others and liberate them from the ills of suffering. Dear friends, the Lord Buddha's daily routine was divided into 5 parts, such as Pera Kisa, the morning session, Pasu Kisa, the afternoon session, Perayam Kisa, the first watch, Madhyam Kisa, the middle watch, and the last, Pasuluyam Kisa, the last watch. Our Gautama Buddha had only one meal a day, that too before noon. Therefore, the things he did in the pace before the meal was called Theravada, and the things he carried out in the pace after the meal was called Pasu. Similarly, the things he did in the first watch of the night was called Perayam. The things he did in the middle was called, and the things he did in the midnight was called Madhyam, and the things he did in the later phase of the night was called Pasuluyam. These all are Pali terms. And let's see what the Buddha did during Perabhat, the morning session. This session was between 4 a.m. to 12 noon. The Lord Buddha would get up at 4 a.m. early morning, and as soon as he had had a wash, would sit for meditation, and then he would look around the world with his great compassion from his divine eye to see if anybody needed his help. When the appropriate time arrived, the Blessed One would put on his robe and either go out and help the needy or alms round. He collect his food by going around from door to door. When on alms round, the Buddha would go from house to house, eyes fixed to the ground, receiving in silence any food that was put into his bowl. Sometimes he would go with his disciples, who would walk behind him in single file. Often people would invite Buddha to their houses to offer alms during noon. And dear friend, the second part of his time, like his daily routine, was like Pasubat Kisa, the afternoon session. Let's see what the Buddha did during this session. This session was between 12 noon and 6 p.m. In the afternoon, the monks would usually go to the Buddha to ask questions and be taught and advised. The Buddha would then retire to his room and look around the world with his divine eye and with great compassion to see if anyone was looking for his help. He would then go and meet people who were waiting for him. He would teach to them in such a way that everybody felt that the Buddha was teaching to each one of them separately, giving joy to the wise, promoting the intelligence of the average people, and dispelling the darkness of the dull-witted. So, my friend, then we go to the Perayam Kisa, the first watch. This period of the night ex- extend from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. was exclusively reserved for instruction to bhikkhus. This session especially for monks. During this time, the bhikkhus, the monks, were free to approach the Buddha and get their doubts cleared, questions him on the intricacies of the Dhamma, obtain suitable object of meditation that called kammatthana in Pali, and hear the doctrine from the Buddha. And then we go to Madhyam Kisa, the middle watch. This period of time was extended from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. During this period, celestial beings such as Devas and Brahmas, actually these celestial beings are invisible to see with the physical eyes. They approach the Buddha to question him on the Dhamma. An oft recurring passage in the suttas is like this. Now when the night was spent, a certain Devas of surpassing splendor came to the Buddha, respectfully saluted him, and stood at one side. Several discourses and answers given to their queries appear in the Samyutta Nikaya. Samyutta Nikaya is called Devata Samyutta. This section is uh, for all Devas. Buddha answers Devas' question and those sermons delivered to Devas. So then we go to Pasuliyam Kisa. This is the last watch. This period of time was extended from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. early morning. These two had been divided into three phases. The first part is spent pacing up and down, that means chankamana, ambulation or walking meditation. He was meditating and freeing himself from the discomfort of sitting all day alone. This serves as mild physical exercise for him. He then would sleep on his right side mindfully for an hour. During the third phase, he spent his meditative trance. According to the Dhamma Pradipika, the last watch is divided into four parts. And I'm mentioning here information according to commentaries. The last watch consists of three parts according to commentaries, Attakatha. Anyway, I'm sharing information according to commentaries. So, dear friends, the I would like to share something about Buddha's boundless love. The whole day he is fully occupied with his religious duties. Unlike any other living beings, he sleeps only for 1 hour at night, for 2 full hours in the morning, and at dawn he pervades the whole world with thoughts of boundless love and great compassion to bring happiness to millions. Leading a life of voluntary poverty, seeking his alms without inconveniencing any, wandering from place to place for 8 months throughout the year, preaching his sublime Dhamma tirelessly. He tirelessly worked for the good and happiness of all till his 80th year. For example, you can see in this particular picture also the murderer Angulimala, who was tried to kill his own mother. So Buddha saw with his divine eye, with great compassion. Then Buddha appeared in front of him, and uh, he helped him to not to kill his own mother. If he did that, he was about to committed or great or like a very bad evil action. So he became arahant later. So my dear friend, our Gautama Buddha was in his deathbed and was spending the last minutes of his life when an old Brahmin named Subhadra came to see him for advice. Venerable Ananda prevented him from bothering the Buddha, but our great Gautama Buddha, hearing the voice of Subhadra, asked Venerable Ananda to send him. At that last moment, he preached to Subhadra and ordained him. Venerable Subhadra attained enlightenment, becoming the last person to be ordained by our Gautama Buddha and passed away before our great Buddha. So you can see this in this particular picture. Buddha is lying on his deathbed, and Subhadra is nearby the Buddha, and Venerable Ananda is trying to avoid his presence. But Buddha asked him with great compassion to come and listen to Dhamma. So you can see that incident like in this artwork. So dear friends, I conclude my short sermon, and I hope you learned something about Buddha's daily routine. You are inspired by his dedication to serving others to help get deliverance or nibbana, the free from samsaric journey, suffering, not only for humans but also for celestial beings and Brahmas, and also Buddha was able to help many animals to free from their suffering. And thank you for watching the video, and please subscribe to our channel if you don't have subscribed our channel yet, so you can get more videos like this in future. I Thank you again, and may all beings be well, happy, and peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.